Welcome back to the Forward Moves podcast, a place where we talk about all things business, branding and systems for your fitness business.
I can normally say I'm
Ash.
And I'm your co-host Kira, and today we have two very special guests, which I think we have mentioned on the podcast already before, but we have Ray, our graphic designer.
Hello.
And we have Star, our social media coordinator, consultant.
Strategist.
Hi.
One of the titles.
A little bit of everything. Yeah, we're not good at titles here at Forward Moves.
Oh no, I don't even know what my title is. I was like, what's she gonna say?
They change all the time. Ray's just like graphic designer.
Literally.
Says stay dog.
Yours is the only one that hasn't changed.
Yeah, it's like all the chaos and Ray's just like
my own little bubble.
I'll just be here doing my logos.
Colours.
But today we are going to be just having a bit of a chat around how you both came into Forward Moves, a little bit about your roles, and we'll probably just go into a little bit of questions about design and marketing and social media. So
Stunning.
there'll be 2 episodes.
yes, there will be 2 episodes. So we'll do a part 1, part 2.
And you get a little insight on the chaos.
Yeah.
We've got a little table in the middle of us. It's like a little board discussion.
I didn't even
It is.
acknowledge it. We're in our new studio in
Yeah.
Brisbane.
We miss you, Jacob.
So
We
this
got
is
lost
exciting.
a lot. I took a lot of wrong turns again.
But that's Brisbane roads for you. Like you don't
Yeah.
know which way to go because they're all one-way streets.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
bad.
I was actually saying to Ray on the way here, I was like, yes, we beat Ash here. We're such good employees.
When I'm like, I'm way too early.
When you're on time, you're too early.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So this is actually going to be really funny because I've been waiting to tell this story on the podcast
Here we go.
of how I found Ray. Do you know this story,
I
Star?
feel like I do. I think it came out at the Christmas party.
It always comes out of the Christmas party.
It always happens. Look, yeah.
Not that we remember that, but
So everyone's story. Have we told your story of how you got the job?
Yeah. Yep. I said that I slid into your DMs and yep.
So
nice.
let's fast forward back to 2021.
I honestly couldn't tell
Yeah,
you.
you started at the start of 2022.
I was like kind of December.
Yeah.
I think I started a little bit earlier.
It's like your contract started in January, but I was like, want to work?
Yeah. I was like,
Basically.
okay, buckle up.
So we decided to get a graphic designer after lots and lots of customers being like, do you do logos? Do anyone does them? I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get one. And the story of how I found Ray is pretty iconic. I definitely put on, what's that show?
which one?
About what?
I'm like, there's the telepathic eyes.
Where that guy follows that chick around. What's that called? You. I definitely got my you on. Yeah.
She got her you on.
I was like, we might just need a little bit more context on that.
This is our conversation. It's like blah, 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 blah. And then I just have to figure out what that means,
she's like,
what to do, where it goes.
Here.
Yeah.
We can talk about the graphic design language today. So funny. Kelsey last week was like, what is Ash saying?
We literally messaged our group chat like, can anyone tell me what this means before I ask Ash what she meant? And I'm like, I know exactly what that means.
It was like this social media template. I was like, can we have the bubbles at the bottom, please? And she was like, what? And Ray's like, it's the little pin thing.
Yeah. Oh, I love this.
All right, tell the story. Or should I say it?
Well, you
We
start.
could do like a kind of a POV.
Yeah.
So
each
my
side.
POV was, I'm a very impatient person. I was like, I want a graphic designer on now. So I went into all of these Facebook groups, such as like Align. Have you guys heard Like-Minded Bitches Drinking Wine? Like that's a big business Facebook group. There's like 150,000 women in that. It's really good, yeah.
That's massive.
And there was also Brisbane graphic designers, and I don't remember what one it was from.
It was definitely like-minded bitches drinking wine.
Yeah, so I literally typed in graphic designer in like the search bar, and I found a post and I found a comment and I found Ray on it, and I was like, you. And then I like messaged her. I have the messages. We went through them the other day.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
should I
God.
get my phone and read the messages? It was
I
like,
would love to see that.
where's my bag? Oh. So I messaged her, and oh my god, I would have been freaking out. Like, who is this susso messaging me?
Absolutely, because especially it was MA services back then, and it was so much smaller. So just having someone reach out and be like, "Hey, do you want a job like ASAP?" I'm like, "Who are you?"
Scam.
Yeah,
Absolute scam.
I realized I don't have my old Facebook. I've got a new Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah, the ad manager shut it down. But anyways, I messaged her. I was like, "Hey Ray, I own a business. We're looking for a graphic designer. I was wondering if you wanted a job." And she was like, "Hi, I'll need more information." And then I told her a little bit more.
That's where you should have got your red flag. Is you will get minimal information from the very beginning.
I literally from day dot.
should have known that.
And then Ray applied and got the job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I remember the interview, I was like, I have no idea anything about graphic design. You'll be on your own.
Yeah, literally. It was so weird. Like, from just day dot, I'm like checking out the website and everything, and I'm like, okay, like trying to read what the business is about. I had no idea what I was getting into, like what it was about in general. And I was like, oh, I like fitness and I do design. Like, I just finished my degree a little bit like before that. And so, yeah, Ash was like, oh, like, we'll have an interview, and she got me to do a logo, and I did the logo, and yeah, just came on board. But I was so suspect about the whole situation because, yeah.
Yeah,
It
just
was
some
just weird.
random DMing you and being like, want a job?
Yeah.
And especially you being like fresh out of uni, like kind
Yeah.
of thing, you'd be like, no, this person somehow knows I've finished my degree. They're going to scam me. They're going to
Yeah.
get my details. And
Exactly. And it was like I was doing an internship, which is where she's like, oh, you should post on this Facebook group. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do a post. Like, probably nothing will come from it. But then
boom,
Ash,
job.
I'm here. Hey, you got headhunted straight out of uni.
what are the odds though, like you seeing my random comment in a Facebook group?
From your internship
From
person
my
telling
internship.
you
Yeah.
to be active in there.
And now here we are.
Isn't it
And then-
crazy how the world
Funny,
works?
all of those little marketing things that people tell you that you think actually mean nothing.
Make a
They
difference.
mean something.
Seriously, put your name out there and people find you.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
have a you moment and find graphic designer.
Yeah.
And now you've done what, over 500 logos?
I would say, yeah, something like
Wow.
that. Like so
That is
many
crazy.
photos.
You've done
Yeah.
3 FM rebrands.
Yeah.
I
Because
think
we
we
changed-
changed before.
We changed the branding to the black and white,
Yeah.
and then we went to the pink,
yeah.
and then
Not a vibe at all.
and then we went to FM.
FM, which
We're
was
not
easy.
rebranding it,
No.
but we're just
I love
leveling
that
it
she
up a
says
little bit.
yet.
Your
Wow.
face is just, oh, again.
No, we're changing one of the main
Yes.
colours in FM.
And we are discarding the green.
Yes.
The green is gone.
We're getting rid of the green and we're
Yeah.
changing the navy to black.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like this.
The green is going.
Yeah.
Well, the main reason was we're doing a photo shoot and Ray's like, let's all wear navy. I'm like, who the fuck is going to buy navy
That's the
and
thing,
wear
is
I'm
it?
going to wear it again.
We
Yeah.
literally chose this
True.
because of the outfits we're wearing in the
Yeah.
this is the way to do it, honestly. If you're planning a photo shoot, like
Yeah.
that's how you pick your colours.
100%. Like,
Or I had like a really cool business tip from someone where they're like, if you're trying to work out your branding colours, look at your wardrobe, particularly if you're personally branded. You'll base it off of the colours that you actually use in life or you're attracted to, and that's your personal branding done.
Great. Are you
That's
guys
a good
attracted to blue?
idea.
Like, not sexually.
Oh, how are we talking about this?
I
love blue,
I wear
yeah.
it all the time.
I love blue. It's my favorite color.
It's blue eyes.
I
I've
do
got blue
like
eyes.
blue
Yeah.
as well. I
Oh,
get
look
told
at
I
us.
should wear blue. Oh my god, are we all blue-eyed
We're
babies?
all blue-eyed
I was
babies.
literally thinking this on the drive here. Like, we all have blue eyes.
Wow, don't
That
tell
means,
Hitler.
that means we're special.
He's got us in a room locked together.
I was going to say, can we edit this? Because
means we're special.
it's so special.
Yeah.
Our
And
recording days are not scheduled. You will not know what day we're going to be here.
you didn't even know who we are. So yeah, been a journey.
Yeah.
And now graphic designer of Forward Moves.
Yes. Yes. So great. I love my job.
That's so good.
She has to say that.
It's not like they're staring at us.
It's like one of those things I heard someone say, like, you can't ask someone what they think about a job or a person when they're sitting there. Like, because if you, they're like, oh, how do you like your job? And your boss is sitting right there and you're like, I love it.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to say anything bad, like, well, I'm like, oh,
I know that you guys talk about it good though, because your friends tell me
Yeah.
that you talk about it good.
100%.
Yeah.
Like,
To be honest, most people that I talk to, they're like, what do you do?
Yeah.
That's the main question.
We're bakers. Do you know the whole baker thing?
I feel like I've heard a part of that. I don't.
It's my mum.
Yeah, that's right.
It has been told in this podcast, but yeah, essentially mum thinks that it's like you're a baker and all you want to do is bake. So you don't want to work on the back end business stuff. So they look after all of that for you. So all you have to worry about is baking.
Didn't you give her that analogy?
No. She came up with it herself. Somebody said,
Love
what does
that.
Kira do? And she was like, well, it's like you're a baker. And I was like, well,
love
really?
analogy.
Good job, but close. I'll take
And
it.
then we found you on that group too.
It was a different Facebook group, yeah.
What
except
group was it?
I had like the world's biggest blonde moment and I was looking for other jobs. I reached out on a 3-year-old post thinking, because I just put it in the search bar and I was like, VA jobs.
Back in the day. So you
Back in that
were
day.
originally a VA with us.
Well, I applied going, look, I've had a look at your branding and I kind of gave a proposal a little because I was like came from like a big marketing background and I was like, look, what kind of VA are you doing? Because I don't want to be in the admin side. Like if it's all administration, absolutely not.
so funny because we're so opposite. I'm like, I'll take all the admin jobs.
It's a great team. And yeah, it was like a 3-year-old post. I've commented on it going, hey, is this still up? Like, I want to give you all my info. She's like, this post was from like 3 years ago.
But yes, you can.
Yeah, I was like, brilliant. And then, yeah, we booked an interview from there and it kind of evolved very quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
That's so funny that like pretty much our longest standing staff are from DMing and finding each other in groups. Like,
Yep.
Well, using Seek is ridiculous. It cost me $500 to post a job ad.
That is
So,
ridiculous.
and that's not even like a boosted. So that's like at the bottom of the list kind of ad.
Oh my God.
And then like,
it's expensive.
it's a lot to go through. Like it's a lot.
Because then you also have to weed out a lot of people that are just applying for jobs to.
The click, click.
And like credit to everyone, get out there and do what you need to
No,
do.
but I mean the people that are posting jobs to get their like payment
Actually, do you know what's funny?
from the government.
Do you know
Love
what's
Centrelink.
Do you know what's really funny? We posted a Seek ad, but our new girl DM'd me.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
So if you
Oh my
want a job
God.
with forward
Just
moves, do
messages.
not apply for this.
You will not be successful.
Her sister found us on, or I think her sister is a coach.
Yeah.
Found our post on Instagram. She emailed me. So there you go.
there you
Don't
go.
use Seek friends. It's not worth it.
No, not worth that investment.
So
And also, I would say to that, if you are looking for jobs, make sure that your socials are top notch and
I stalk.
are clean or private. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
Or
stalk.
particularly if you want to be creative.
People really don't think about the impact that social media has on their jobs. Like when I find someone, I stalk. And like I know this sounds really bad, but like for example, I've shared it with you girls before. I cannot stand when people talk on their phones when they drive. And if I was to hire someone and I saw that they made a video of them talking on their phone while they're driving, I'd cut there. And I know that that's like really intense, but it's like a thing, like it's a moral thing. Like,
yeah.
Safety
Like, you're not meant to be on your phone while driving.
No.
Like,
I am so anally retentive about that. It's not funny.
it's so bad.
Honestly.
I will watch
wait.
my partner go and skip a song. I'm like, no.
I actually unfollow people. Like if I see them record on their phone, I'm like unfollow. Like what? Why are you so important that you can talk?
Yeah.
Pull the car over. Like
Yeah.
you are literally not that important. Like no one cares that
Like,
much of
how-
what you have to say. I know
how
this is really
busy are
ruthless.
you?
Yeah.
That you can't
exactly.
record while you're cooking in the kitchen or doing
And
something
it's usually
else.
like, so I'm just going to go to the Coles. I'm going to go buy
Yeah.
some protein. And it's like,
think
girl,
it's
you
your-
could do this in the car park. Like, you could do it on the way out.
And that I just I can't deal with it.
No.
Yeah.
I really can't. And like that's one thing. I look at social media and I look at how people show up for themselves as well. Like yeah,
It's
really
like
important.
biggest marketing icks. I love this topic. I was watching, I watched like someone I used to work for just did like a post on it. And I was like, yes, give me all the marketing icks.
What are they?
I mean, the one that always comes to mind is like the ChatGPT caption.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Unless you know how to prompt it properly.
Oh, you
and
can
like
use it as a prompt, absolutely,
Yeah.
but edit it.
Make some
personalize
edits.
it. Like it needs to sound and feel like you. Like you're not doing your business any favors.
So true. Like I receive some emails and messages and it's like, it's straight off ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Like you don't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
Like, did you ask GPT to make it an email? Like, it's
Yeah.
straight
Yeah.
from the chat being created? Because there is
Literally.
no edits that have been
I
made.
love ChatGPT, but
I
I
mean,
literally
leverage
like
it for
I
sure.
literally put my mess in. I'm like, fix it.
Yeah, yeah, because it's like the
So,
brainstorm.
Ray is your chat GPT.
Yeah.
Exactly it.
So we should probably explain this whole scenario because it's pretty funny. So I have my own language and I just say, like, I give half an instruction and expect the girls to know what to do. And I do it to every single person in the team.
And it's not only that, it's like half the instruction, half the spelling, half the grammar, half the sentence. It's literally so wrong.
It was one of the first conversations I had with the girls in my onboarding when I was getting messages from you. I was like, I don't understand. They're like, okay, this is lesson 1 with Ash.
I've actually decided that I'm going to make an onboarding flow for the girls that come on that are new, but it's like excluding you. And I'll be like, all right,
This is what this means.
break this down. We need
Ash
like
says this.
we need an Ash decoder. Like,
I'm just too busy to care, and you guys can decipher it. So why would I
Honestly,
care?
it's fair. Like we've gotten there. I can read it. Like,
Yeah.
I say some cook stuff to you though.
oh, for sure.
I'm like, I want it to look like this, but not this and this, and you're like,
Uh-huh.
okay.
But you know what? I know exactly what you mean.
It took me 3 years to learn.
it depends. Yeah, you decode it the best if it's anything to do with design, and if it's anything to do with like a system or something that's upcoming or something that's changing, I'm like, yep, cool. Like, I'll understand what you mean.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to her asking for something different with design, I'm like, Ray.
And then if it's systems, I have no idea what she means.
This is honestly why I can't outsource. Like, I can't outsource design when the girls are off because it's like, I try to explain a social media template. I'm like, I needed to do this. They're like, what?
That's like when we did the brief for like trying to hire another design assistant, and it's like I'm trying to explain it, but I think you told James like the brief, and he was like, I have no idea what that means.
So we did like a brief, and it was like, you need to make a social media template with like this, and this. And I read it to James. He's like, are you speaking another language? And I was like, no.
I swear I could do that with my partner on anything I work with though, and he's like,
Yeah.
I saw this thing that I was like, that would be so good, is you do like a dinner night with friends, but everyone makes a PowerPoint presentation on what they do for work.
yes.
I was like,
Yeah.
that would be so great
That would be
because I don't
fun.
know what anybody does for work. I'm like, okay.
True.
In the office this year, I'm going to have like a little mini Christmas office party. Everyone needs to make a PowerPoint, and it's our POVs of the year.
Oh,
I
It
love
would
that.
be hilarious.
Okay.
And it was like Ash's POV, and Ray's like,
that's not how it went.
here's the messages.
Oh, that's funny.
I want to do that. But yeah, I'm very hard to decipher.
It's okay.
I swear half of my messages to you are like, okay, context.
Well,
Is this for this? Because I think I'm on the right like brainwave, but just close the gap a little.
My favorite is when you think you're on the right train,
you're having
and then
completely
you're like,
different
how's this? And she's like, oh, that's nothing like I was thinking. And you're like, I guess I'll just start again.
And I refused to make a Loom video as well.
Or you'll reply like, sorry, that I gave no context. It's like, no, you did not.
Or the other day this happened, we did like the challenge drop, like the announcement of the challenge pack. And I had messaged Ray and Kels, and I was like, can you guys please create this post? But I didn't give him a timeline. So the next thing you know, I'm in calls all day. 5 o'clock comes around. I'm like, I've put a countdown on the stories. I have to post this post.
Oh my
So I'm in Canva trying to post. And I like messaged Ray in the chat. I was like, don't want to hear it.
And I
come
check,
for me.
and slide 2 of the tile, you'll be able to still see it because it's still up there. There is text in the middle of the screen, like in between all the content. She just left text there. And I'm like,
Oh my god.
Did you not see that? Like, how did you do
I just
that?
got to get the post up.
And I love that it was just like you messaged and you were like, I don't want to hear it. I didn't give you a deadline and it was for tonight. Sorry. And you're like, it's up, don't want to hear it. And Ray literally sent a screenshot of it and was just like I think you said like an upside down face. And I was just like, don't care, don't want to hear it.
I think there was this one time you're on holidays and you just, all the real tiles just got fixed because I just post stuff and Frank just goes.
That's how nerdy I am. Hey, like I cannot bear the feed to look bad for like a few seconds, and I'm on holiday. Like, no way has she posted this. Absolutely not. So,
Oh, I love that. That's the dedication.
I go on the page, I'm like, oh, Ray's been online. Get offline. So we'll jump into that because I feel like you were both hired not in specialty roles, besides graphic designer, but it was kind of junior.
yeah,
And then as we've evolved, we've gone into specialty roles because you should have never been a VA in the first place.
I mean, I never wanted to
Yeah.
be. It was just like, get me out
Get
of
the
where I
figure in the
was.
Yeah, because your marketing background's in the SNA, isn't it? You worked for sports nutrition.
Yeah. And that was an awesome opportunity. Like, I loved that. But that was like the role that got me to move back to Brisbane, which
Yeah.
was incredible. But I've always kind of said it's like a jack of all trades because I've had so many industries I've dabbled in and been a part of. Like, honestly, when I list them all, none of them make sense of how I've managed to spearhead into fitness and health. But it's like,
I feel you. You
Yeah.
should see my list of jobs that I've done and certificates.
Exactly. And it's like, how did you end up in this position? But yeah, I mean, that was the exciting thing because it was like, I have this wealth of knowledge. I don't even care. You just are in the industry that I want to be a part of, and it's in that. So whatever marketing, virtual assistant, no matter what it is, I don't care. Just let me be a part of it.
I really think. Are you still VA with Star Coaching Creative?
Yeah, I do have some. Most of them really are online business management clients who
Yeah.
just don't understand what that means. And so I just give them the VA label so they better understand it. Because
It's a matter of speaking. I had a meeting this morning and we're talking about how like virtual admin is just basic, but
Yeah.
our industry understands it. And it's like, how do you, because like marketing and operations specialty, like how, if you put that into your SEO, no one's going to be typing in marketing and operations specialty.
Yeah.
Like,
that's so true.
yeah, you got to like use the language that your clients know, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Because like for
sure.
me, VA can often be, it's very like assigned tasks
Yeah.
and you go and you do that, you execute. Whereas a lot more when you get into the depths of it, that's like even when you were like we had the VA division, it was still collaborative. Like you jump on a call, you talk about the clients, what they're wanting to achieve, and you'd come up with a bit of a plan together, depending on the client. But it's a much, much more collaborative kind of space. Anyway,
Yeah, absolutely. I got to stop saying absolutely.
it's the catchphrase.
Got to stop. So yeah, you kind of both grown into your specialties. So Ray's obviously the designer of Forward Moves, and she's just designing everything.
Yes, that's me.
We got a compliment on your designs today.
Did you?
Oh, they're like, oh my god, they just keep getting better and better. I'm like,
Oh my god, who said that?
Shay.
Oh,
Yes.
that's so nice.
Yes. She was like, I just keep looking at it. It's like, oh, damn, like they just get better and better.
How can I keep up with it?
That's so
That's
sweet.
lovely.
And then Star's gone down like the social media marketing specialty side of things. So if you want to work with the girls, you got to do the Business Moves program.
Yeah.
So basically, Ray is obviously the one that takes you through the brand identity, and then Star utilizes all the messaging and teaches you how to show up on socials.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of our conversation comes back to messaging, and I know like we
Yeah.
touch on that in all parts of the build, but particularly when it comes to socials, people get really like there's so much to think about and there's so much you can think about. We forget to bring it back to what actually is important and what actually matters, and it's talking to the people you want to work with.
I really struggle with this because you know how you can say like fixie messaging and it's like, what's the forwards move messaging? And it's like, I'm so caught up in the world of forward moves. I just know how to speak to our client now. And it's like trying to break down the ABCs for me. I'm like, oh, no. And it's like, you know, it's really hard, like, to actually explain.
Articulate
Like,
it,
if I said to you, what's our message? What would you say?
It's like, what do you do?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, it changes from day to day.
Well, it's funny because I actually figured out like this exact question because I was having that problem with everyone. They're like, and then they just give me the same old spiel of, I work with people in this age bracket and and it's so general, which is wonderful. Like you do work with, everyone's different, right? Like you can always say that you have like a big audience, but you need to know more specifically what that actually sounds like. So I always ask everyone, and all the clients that have been a part of Business Moves would know, I ask the same question every time. Like if you could tell me what conversation you would have with your clients every day moving forward, every day, it was the same conversation with everyone, what would that conversation be about? And that's what we then focus their messaging around, because it's like that's what you actually want to be talking about. That's what you want to connect with people about.
Yeah.
And it gives so much clarity. They can rattle off a sentence straight away. They're like, oh, I really want to be talking about like progressive overload, or I really want to be talking about the mindset of feeling more confident while you're training, or whatever it is. They throw it out there straight away because they know exactly what they want to be doing.
Yeah. I feel like messaging is one of the hardest things that, because like we can set up a coach and as soon as I have, the first call, I'm like, I know who your client is. Yeah. I'm on it. I know exactly. And then it's like, okay, but how do I talk to them? And it's like, well, I know how you should, but it's trying to explain how you need to understand it. Like the analogy of like, for example, we had a client come through Milan and his customer is bodybuilder, like full-blown bodybuilder kind of thing. And I was like, oh, your messaging is so easy. He's like, yeah, what is that? I was like, I don't know how to explain that to you just yet. Like that is really hard because like, I don't know, my puzzle just puts it together.
Well, it's also
and it's like we need to put it together for them. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, it also comes back to how your relationship with empathy, like how you actually input yourself into the other person's shoes.
Yeah.
And that's not easy for everyone. That doesn't mean they're not empathetic, but it's like you actually have to take yourself out of your current position and remember what it was like before you started bodybuilding.
I find this a lot. And it's like I like comments around what is it? I want people that actually do the work.
Yeah.
Everyone wants someone that does the work. Don't get me wrong. We want it too. But it's like, oh, you got to remember, what were you like when you started?
Yeah. What did you need to hear?
What did you go through?
I think that's what made us so good in the industry, because we weren't like coaches. We were kind of, obviously we have our own health and fitness journeys, but we could kind of look at it from an outsider perspective and see like, that doesn't make sense to me. So why would it make sense to your audience?
We knew what our the customer wanted from a customer perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah, we can give good insight into being a consumer, because we all are consumers of the health and fitness industry. So we can give advice to be like, if I was looking at your page, that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because we look at so many pages, we could be like, I knew what I was like in the beginning, or what I didn't know, or anything like that. So you can kind of say like, you're rattling off these big words, but it's not going to mean anything to anyone you're reaching.
Like caloric deficit. Who knows what a caloric deficit is?
No idea what you're talking about.
Do you find that a lot, that it's really easy to get caught up in using high level language?
It's funny. I find that it's actually the bit in between. It's not necessarily the high level language. It's going from talking about what you know, like they will simplify it and think that's done. So they're not using the big words, but they're not giving the context. They're not giving the step before of like, okay, but why do I need to know that my mindset is shit? Why do I need to know that my form isn't good? Or how do I recognize when my form isn't good? Or why does it even matter? Like, it's the step before the education that we miss every day.
And I think there's not necessarily a bad thing to use the big words, because then people actually learn what those are instead of people using a simplified word, but then nobody actually knows where that's come from.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you can give like an abbreviation and be like, oh, I don't want to use big words because people won't understand it. But it's like, why don't you teach people what it means instead then?
Exactly. Because then the abbreviation is like, it's just a bit, it gets lost in the wind.
Because they'll be like, I don't know what that is, so I'll just skip past it.
Yeah. And sometimes when you do go into your actual intellect and using those bigger words and the phrases that we don't know what they mean in the industry, when you do that, you actually have a space to build trust from, because people can then see you actually have the knowledge. You're not one of those people that comes from, not investing a lot in their own education. You've clearly invested in what you do, so I can trust you to educate me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
With I want to kind of dive into the next episode. We're going to do personal brand and business brand, but I kind of want to get the insight because, you know, I do call one. I learn about the customer. We do demographics, psychographics, and then I hand it to you to do branding.
Yeah.
So, like, what is the process of, okay, this is what they like. This is what Ash has said. How do we combine it?
And that's over to Ray, by the
Yeah.
way.
Don't you know our voice?
Yeah, we've all like looked over in that direction, but
Yeah, so I kind of just go over what was said all over again, kind of hear it from their side of the business, kind of see what their ideal client is. I read over your notes as well because you kind of really do a deep dive into their psychographics, their demographics and all of that.
Can we just come back on, can we go over what psychographics are
Yes.
a little
Yeah.
bit? Because I know that I've seen that word written a lot and I'm like, I don't actually really know what psychographics are, to be honest.
which is fair. That's a very niche term. I forget that. That's not like
Yeah. Well, do you want to explain psychographics?
Let Star explain it. Everyone listens. And,
I'm like, not me.
Everyone listens to me every week. They can listen to Star.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you can fill in the gaps anyway because we all have our own interpretation. But for me, psychographics, it's the detail of your audience. So it's the behaviors is one pillar of a psychographic. So the behaviors that target audience has. It's the demographic. So, you know, you can think about lower demographics. I'm sure you can think about them in Brisbane if you're located in Brisbane. Suburbs that are known for being known for things, or like the higher demographics and what that they naturally are like as a population, because we have different attributes. Like something that would happen in a higher demographic you just wouldn't even think it would be a problem for. It's not even a problem for a lower demographic because they'd have no idea. They're big ones. Then obviously you're looking at things like age as well and gender identification.
Yeah, I have a slightly different interpretation. That's still right. Demographics for me is like, you know, the stuff that's tangible. So
Yeah,
are
definitely.
Are you male or female? Do you want to talk to males or females? What age bracket? All this kind of stuff. Occupation, understanding who the individual is as a label.
Yep.
I like to look at demographics as this is our pricing structure. So we look at, you know, what's their income? Have they got kids? Where do we price it based in the market? And then psychographics is behaviors and values. So where are they at with their fitness? Where are they at with their mindset, their beliefs? What do they value the most? I even get our customers to do like a value hierarchy, and it's like, where do you want your customers to classify health from 1 to 5?
Yep.
And a lot of them say 1. I'm like, do you want competitors? They're like, no. And it's like, restructure it.
Yeah.
2, okay, do you want them to be training 4 days a week? Oh, it's okay if they restructure it, and like really getting them to think about that behavioural impact.
Exactly.
So,
It's like that next layer deeper
Yeah.
of like, I think you hit the nail on the head there, like not the tangible of the demographic. It's all of that non-physical part. Like it's the feeling.
Yeah. And it's the why basically
Yeah,
behind
definitely.
it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Cool. Thank
Yeah.
you. So did that.
Then it's kind of just translating to what is going to attract that type of client. So yeah, just kind of going over all of that. So say, for example, you have pre and postnatal mums. Obviously maybe an older demographic. And yeah, maybe higher end, say, for example. We would probably look at that. So usually mums, they go around the colour of like pinks and pastels and softer colours. If it is maybe a little bit more high end, we strip it back, make it more minimal, make it more elegant. So whether that's through the colours, the fonts, there's a whole bunch of ways that you can go about it. And then, I guess just bringing all the branding in together, like from the photos that we use, from the logos that we create, just really sticking to what your client is going to like, what they're going to be attracted to. Because most of the time it's going to be not what you like, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
I think that it's really important, and I always tell the story of us with Forward Moves because I hated the name to start with. Like it was all a shit show from the start. But I remember I wanted blue, and that's the only color I knew that I wanted. And Ray gave me the color palettes. I was like, absolutely no. Like they're so ugly. And she was like, put them on the stories and make people vote for them. And then everyone voted for our color palette. And it's like,
Exactly.
I always laugh at this because a lot of people don't realize the impact that colors have on us and color psychology.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm
love
telling
that post,
you
actually.
right now, if I see red and black next to each other, I've lost my sale. Not coming. Scares the shit out of me. I don't know what to do.
Really?
Red and black together, I'm like, I don't like you.
It usually gives
wow.
like, obviously, if you have red and black in your branding, I'm sure it's totally fine. So we're not coming for you.
Yeah. Just because Ash doesn't like it doesn't mean she's not your ideal client.
Exactly
then
right.
she
It doesn't give me softness.
Exactly right. But we do see a lot of the time like coaches that their audience is mums and all of that, and their branding is like black, white, red, and like bold font. And it's
Yeah.
like, that is not going to attract your mamas.
Yeah, definitely.
And I always find like with design, we just don't, the general public don't understand it really well. And this is something that happens a lot in business moves. Ray will get, I want bold but minimalist. And she's like, oh, they can't coincide together. Like, and it's no one's fault because I do the same thing with Ray. I'm like, I want this. She's like, no, like, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's like clashing with the message. But have you ever had to make a branding palette for someone you're like, I don't agree with?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think that a lot of people come into the business moves really flexible and they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm going to hand this over to you. I trust what your opinion.
Yeah.
And there has been a few times where they're like, no, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. And the best you can do is be like, okay, well, this is why we go this route because it's going to attract your audience and this is why. But yeah, some people can be really stubborn on like, well, I really like this color and I want this to be my brand. So
they don't see the strategy behind it.
exactly.
But at the same time, like the thing that we do well is we can give you all of the suggestions and our opinions and give you the reasons why. But if you are dead set on having this color and you are really attracted to it and that's your vibe, then that is 100% fine. Like,
course.
we can give you the knowledge, but if you want to be able to post that color and use that color in your post and you really like it and be able to use it, like wear it and show it and all of that sort of thing, then of course that's okay. And that is still going to reach people similar to you because they will also be attracted to that. But but it is funny that they'll be like, oh, I don't care, whatever. And then they'll be like, no.
Jokes.
Yeah. But I guess it's one of those things that they don't know what they want until they
Yeah.
can see it and start seeing
It's
it come
so true.
together.
It's so hard.
Because it's like, oh my God, okay, pick your colors. And there's like how many colors to choose from.
Yeah.
So it's overwhelming.
It
But
can be hard, and it's also like it's hard to see like color combinations and standing out from the crowd, and that's kind of what we've been doing a lot lately is like creating new color combinations because obviously we work with so many coaches. It's like how are we going to make each brand unique?
Yeah.
So yeah, just really giving them the visuals so they can really see it all together. Like we'll do a branding mood board, and then they can really see what it's like.
Yeah, I find it really hard as well though because like we're influenced so much and they'll be inspired by other coaches. They're using that as a reference. Or if they're seeing the red and the black all the time in their feed, they're attracted to that only because they're seeing it so much and it's trending. And then trying to navigate, well, is that actually you? Is that actually your audience? Or are you just attracted to that at the moment? Because you'll change your mind. I don't know if you've ever had that where
We made this
6
mistake.
months later they turn around and they're like, I hate it.
We made this
absolutely.
mistake.
Yeah.
We did it with MA.
Yeah.
We made it over and over and over until we finally got it right.
Yeah.
But I always find it really funny because with the business moves, Ray does 3 logo combinations on the mood boards. We always see them first and we're always like, we love that one. We want them to pick that one.
And then they choose
And
the opposite.
They always choose the one that we don't want. But I always find it funny when it comes to the website, they will always be like, oh, can you add the colour in that you said earlier would work? And we're just like, yes.
It's so true.
Yeah,
It's that
because
end vision.
we can see the end vision, whereas it's not their role to see that end vision. Like,
100%.
it's to go through the journey.
Yeah.
I want to touch on that with branding being the same in the market because I have a really, really strict rule here at FM. There's a couple
I know
rules.
exactly what that rule is.
she's like, I have a really strict rule. It's like,
hearing
just
it.
the one.
And it's not so obviously it is very hard because designers have certain styles and no matter what designer you go to there's a certain style they're going to use, but we have a really strict rule here because we are in an industry that is very saturated. we are not allowed to use website templates. That is a no.
No
Yeah,
way. If you are
absolutely
paying a
not.
designer and they are using a website template, you have been robbed.
Yeah.
We design everything from scratch, and every single design needs to be different. Now, there are some clauses here, not clauses, but like there are going to be incidences where, you know, for example, people love Rachel Toohey's website, and we're
Yeah.
constantly going off that and like building brands around that and all of that kind of stuff, but we have to make it look really different. And there is always going to be like, you know, your business is going to look the same to another. Like there's only so many combinations
Yeah.
out there in the
thing.
world.
It's like they have
Particularly on your
online
post.
coaching, nutrition only, and they have inclusions and they have testimonials. And every single time, I'm like, how do I make this look different?
Reinvent it.
And I think like this is from a design perspective where, you know, we do the colors, we make it look good. How do you then on the front end of branding make yourself stand out on social media?
Yeah. For me.
Yeah, that's for you.
That's for me, the social media part. I mean, and it's funny. I think it all comes back to, it's so cheesy. Like if I say the word, and this is the problem I find with social media, my answers, everyone glazes over because they think that they've heard it to death, but they've not really let it sink in. So just like give it the minute, but it's actually authenticity. Like if you can have the same colors. It's like I use this example where someone could tell you they love you, right? It's a bit messed up. They could tell you that they love you, and then you could hear it wrong and just take it that they're manipulating you, but they've not said anything different. They've used the same words, but the feeling is completely different depending on the tone and how they execute the look on their face.
Yeah.
It's the same with your branding. Your branding is your words. It's like what you're saying, how you say it is you.
Yeah.
So if you just copy and you're going, I have red and black. This is just the example in my head now. I've got red and black because I really liked it on that coach's page. Oh, they did a post about what to do when you're posing. I need to do a post on what to do when you're posing. And you're using everyone else to tell you what to do and how to show up. You're not building longevity and you're not standing out. It's bring it back to what you actually want to do. And again, I bring it back to that same sentence. What do you want to be, what conversation do you want to have every day? How can you help bring that into what you're saying and how you present your visuals? It changes the game.
Yeah. And then it's like have that conversation with your audience online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do it consistently. You can't have that conversation with yourself once and you're done. It's
Yeah.
every week on social media, and that's the thing we don't like. When it comes to a website, we might do a rebuild or jig things around. We have that conversation in the team sometimes too, where like fix up the website with this, that kind of thing, and that's fantastic. But it's not weekly.
Yeah.
Whereas social media, you need to have that weekly. You need to have that check-in. And that's where I bring it back to things like data, where if you're not reviewing your data, you can't come to me and tell me you're not growing because you have no idea what you're doing.
Oh, we track closely.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
How do you actually know what's working? And if you're trying to play around with your messaging and trying to speak to people, trying to stand out, how do you know what's landing and how do you know what's not? Because you can't see what you can't see.
Yeah.
You don't know what Chloe down the corner is doing if you don't follow her.
Yeah.
If she has the exact same branding, exact same target, exact same messaging, everything. You don't know that. So you just have to keep auditing and checking in with your branding and how your visuals are being interpreted, most importantly.
I wonder what our colours give off to people.
I think that would be a really, really cool kind of question to run on the socials.
Well, I would hope that it gives off sporty and
I'm right, you're wrong.
I'm just going to inject the words.
like I know what they're thinking.
Ray's giving like subliminal messages to people, being like, so when we ask this, she's like, sporty.
just whispering in your ear exactly what you should think.
I'm going to play this while you're sleeping.
It's so true though. Colours really do impact the way that people feel about your business. And I feel like, especially with us, like since we've done the rebrand, it's no lie that like we've leveled up significantly with everything that we've done. And I feel like when I look at the MA colours, I was like, like just no feeling. I look at Forbes, I'm like, oh, like it's actually like exciting to look at. Like,
I remember when you decided on those colours and I hated them. And you were set on, you remember the dusty rose shade? Oh my goodness. And I'm like, I just love
You know
this
what?
shade.
I was doing the same thing as Star was saying. I was looking at everyone else. What are they
Yeah.
doing? What are they posting? I
Yeah.
really struggled.
Yeah.
And well, yeah, that's why we changed things so much. It
Yeah.
was so inconsistent, but now like I love our feed. I just scroll through
Yeah.
it.
Well, again, like if
Scratches an
I,
itch.
if I think back to the days where I was getting onboarded as a staff member, and even knowing us now, like those colors, that branding, how we were showing up was so unauthentic.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you may have had that as well. You come behind the scenes and you're like, oh my God, you're nothing like I thought you were.
It's actually funny you say that because we've been getting quite a few comments lately around like our business identity. Everyone says the same thing. You guys are just really nice and fun.
Yeah.
Like you guys know
Yeah.
what you're doing. You're nice. You're fun. Like you give off these vibes. I'm like,
Exactly. And
God,
our-
good.
yes. But I mean, like you look at our messaging now and to me, like our colors and just that strategic creative part of my brain, I just go, it's done.
Yeah.
It sounds, it feels, we give off exactly who we are.
Yeah.
There's no shade. There's nothing hidden behind the corners or the curtains. It's exactly how we present, exactly how we show up is what it is online.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
even clients who come into the Business Moves program, they're like, oh, yep,
Yeah.
you're all exactly
Yeah.
how I thought you would be from what I see.
A little bit more crazy. It's actually so funny. We had me and Kelsey are huge Swifties, like obsessed. I hear the eyes rolling already.
Oh, thank you. I cannot relate.
Shut up, both of you.
I'm sorry.
You're guests on this podcast.
Kelsey's our design assistant, by the way.
And we are massive Swifties, and we were looking at a client's page to do up her website, and we noticed that she had like a Swiftie highlight.
I remember this. I
And
was
we-
in the chat.
And we were like, just a really random question. Are you a Swiftie? And then I just exploded.
I legit messaged Ash and Kelsey and I was like, I'm muting this chat. I was like, you guys are being so annoying. I was like, please stop. But they were having the best time in the
So
chat.
you get us with a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. And they're like, "Ooh," like back and forth the whole time. And I was like, oh my God, my computer is going to blow up.
I find it really interesting. Back to the black and red thing. There was a coffee company in Newcastle, and I think it was called like a cockatoo or something. But the fact that it had a cockatoo and it was red and black, I couldn't try the coffee. Like I don't know.
You just didn't trust it.
What is wrong with me?
true.
I just can't do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
couldn't
You
agree
know,
more.
you know what this brings me to? This is so off topic, but quirks. Okay. Tell me if you guys agree with this.
I have no quirks. No.
I'm immediately going to leave this conversation.
if a restaurant has breakfast and lunch, it's okay. If it's got lunch and dinner, it's okay. If it's got breakfast and dinner, I can't go there.
Yes.
I've never
Yeah,
seen a place that has breakfast
agree.
and dinner.
Completely. I do not trust it. Why are you there
it's
all day?
one or the other.
yeah.
I don't.
So if they have breakfast and lunch only, it's okay to eat at.
I understand what you're saying. I've just never seen somewhere that has only breakfast and dinner.
No,
I'm trying to
breakfast to
think of-
dinner. If they're open all day.
Oh, like you have too many options. You can't be
I
good
can't trust
at.
you.
You can't be good enough
Yeah.
because you have too many. That's when their menu's really big.
Yeah.
Too. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's like the coaches that think they need to offer everything under the sun, and you're like, oh my God, just focus in on one of them.
I love that
I
you can relate that back
Great.
to like
Good
fitness.
job.
I've been-
Sorry, it's the brain.
I get a lot
the
of
strategy.
I get a lot of that, and it's like I want to offer nutrition and training only. It's like, okay, who's on nutrition? No one. Okay, why are we offering it?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to have an option. I was like, you're a business owner. You have the ability
Yeah.
to force people into options, and I know that this sounds really bad. We have a business moves program. We get asked for websites, systems, terms and conditions all the time. No. Point blank, no, not doing it. Reason why, one, you need the program. We know that you need the program. Two, you're going to come to us for systems and terms and conditions. 3 months later, you're going to be like, can I have a website?
Yeah.
3 months later, can I have this? And it's
Yeah.
like, you're going to spend so much more money with us. Like does it just get the Band-Aid done? Let's rip it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And it's as a coach, I always have this conversation. I'm like, you know for sure your customer needs training and nutrition to get the best results. You've got the offer, say this is all I offer. And then if it really comes to that objection, you can be like, okay, I do have a nutrition only program. We can trial you on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing, it gets tricky around services because that's a whole strategy in itself of like, what are you trying to do? And also, do you have Do you have the education behind you? This comes back to my SNA background of like, do you have the knowledge and the things behind you to support you in what you're educating and what you're putting out there? But there's also the part of how you tier it. Like if you are going to do a nutrition offer, you don't need 3 tiers to your nutrition offer.
Yes.
And the
Have it
same
all
with
in
your
one.
training. Yeah, like just you don't need to service everyone in order to attract someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find this with meal plans and macros only.
Yeah.
It's like, I want a nutrition and meal plans only. I want a nutrition and macros only. So just do the both. It's
Yeah.
actually because I'm back on a meal plan now.
Yep.
Because I was like, I just can't track anymore. I can't do it. I've lost the plot kind of thing. I was like, I just need to be told what to eat. And I'm deep in my journey. You're the same too. Hey, you went on a meal
sometimes
plan.
I love just being on a meal plan.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just tell me what to eat, and I
wanna
will
think about
stick
it.
to it more because I'm like, I have 50 grams. That's all I can have of that. Where like if I'm doing my own, I'll be like, oh, a little bit more to tell nobody.
And then you're on my fitness pal, I was like, what can I take out of my day?
What can you change? Blah, blah, blah. No, this is it.
And like, don't remove that option for your client.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not so much that. Like for me, it comes back a lot to like check-ins of. Okay, I'm going to have a premium offer where we check in fortnightly or weekly. And then I'm going to do and that's like a 12-week minimum. Now I'm going to do an 8-week minimum where we check in fortnightly and the premium's weekly. And now I'm going to do a monthly option.
Yeah.
But as well as and if you're just doing those 3, sure, no worries. But if you do those 3, then you do the same for your nutrition, then you might do the same for your posing, and then you might do the same for your
It's an
combined.
actual
It's like, yeah,
Overwhelming, yeah.
like no. And that's the feeling when you see your marketing. They're overwhelmed. How do you remember all of that for start? Like if you're trying to
that's so
sell
hard
someone.
to manage too.
Yeah.
We've been there, done that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we used to have like 20 services, like logo only, social media only.
Yeah. So keep it simple. It makes it easier for you to manage the back end too. You don't have people check in monthly, weekly, fortnightly.
I think it's more of a
Yeah.
scarcity mindset
Yes,
around
definitely.
like, oh, people won't come to me. I was like, people still come
But
to us.
also,
Yeah.
it's not to say you can't offer people flexibility when they come to
Definitely,
you,
yeah.
but just make it easy for people to know what you do and what you offer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can personalize it behind the scenes for sure. But once you've sold them, and I think it's a fear of having to sell someone into
Yeah.
something. It's like if you actually had the confidence on that call, like if you're on a discovery call, to me that's a sales call, right?
Yeah.
You're on a sales call, and if you can't have the conversation of going, oh, no worries, well, like, you know, it's no sweat off my back if you don't sign up, but like you need to be in this program because you'll get nutrition and you'll get training support there. I can absolutely look at personalizing it for you if you're only wanting to do like this many check-ins, but this is the offer, this is the investment, you know, take it
Yeah.
or leave it.
Yeah,
And
like really believe in it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the scarcity and then it's like this lack of confidence to hold your own.
Yeah.
I mean, we still go through. I go through like a couple cycles like that. I'm like, oh, maybe we should just let someone build a website because, like, no, like straight out there, just like no. It's because we know that as soon as they get week 4 into that business moves program, they're like, oh my god,
Thank God.
I wish I did this sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got a whole team. You literally have a whole team setting you up in 8 weeks, and you're just yes, no,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is good. And I think there's a lot to say in like those sales calls as well. Is like you're not really I would like to think of them as not a sales call, but I would like to like coaches should think about them as just giving your client all of the information on what you provide for them, and then they're making a decision from there if they want to go ahead or not. Not that you're like selling it to them, because by the end of what you've put out to them, there shouldn't be like a, oh, it's this price because of this and blah, blah, blah. Like, don't over-explain yourself. Like, give them all the facts, give them
Don't-
all the details, give them the price, and sit there and wait for their decision.
Exactly. And that's the funny thing. Like a bit of insight, like I started in marketing in the sales part of marketing and then transitioned to digital marketing. So for me, absolutely, I think the biggest problem is that we're scared of the word sales.
yeah.
If
'Cause
you
it's
were talking
icky.
about, and that's because some people out there do it icky, and that's fine. But you don't need to be scared of it to do it. Anything to do with marketing is a sales tactic. You are lying to yourself if you're saying it's not. And then I agree that you don't go into a discovery call going, I'm going to sell them into an offer. You go in to get to know them. You go in to find out whether you're the right fit, you're the right coach for them, to share all of your information. Where that goes to from there is, you know, you can do things to help push that along, but don't be afraid to also do the things that are going to push them along a little bit and say, well, look, absolutely, like I completely get, I don't want to push you into anything, but you know, this is the offer. I do have limited spots. Even if you've got 5 spots and this is only one call, that's fine. But you can say those things and go like, I've got 1 spot left that I'm trying to fill ASAP. So let me know by this date if you can.
Yeah.
Like you can do things that are still have like an end goal, still are in that realm of sales, but not be a, you know,
Yeah.
Not fear mongering.
yeah. But it's, don't be afraid to sell yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
No,
That's not good.
I was just going to say, I want to ask both of you, what is both of your favourite parts of the Business Moves program for clients?
Ooh, fun.
For clients and for you. So what are you most excited when you see a client go through a certain section, and what part do you like doing the most, or if they're the same thing?
I think I love it when the clients get, I don't know if this sounds conceited, when they get the design for their website.
Oh, this is
I
my
did for
favorite part too.
Yeah.
That Ray has done from them.
It's gotta be. I think for some reason, usually there's not many changes when we send out the website because we're at the end of the build. Like we know your business really well by this point. So we know what you're looking for. We've already done your branding. We know what you like, what you don't like. What?
Ash, I'm just like, have you guys seen Dodgeball?
Yeah.
No, but I know the movie.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
And you know, it's like, you know that I know you, that you know that. I've seen that meme. So it just reminded me of that. We know you. And you see Ash over there like,
Bursting at the seams to get a reference out.
we were talking about it the other day. I was just, okay, I'll be quiet.
But yeah, no, that's cool. So your favourite part is, is that for them? Is that your favourite part
I
for them?
think, yeah. Well, maybe it's
when
me
they
when they see their reaction because it's
Yeah.
usually like, oh my God, everything kind of comes together. Like the systems are set up.
It's one of the
Branding's
last
done.
pieces of the build, and
Yeah.
it's when they finally go, oh my God, I can see all of my stuff in one spot.
Yeah.
Because we've put all the
100%.
information about like who they are, their services, the screenshots of their app that's been redone, and like everything's just like been neatly put together.
Exactly. I think that is one of them. And then maybe for what I like to do, I love the branding side of it all. So figuring out how I'm going to do another different coaching brand, try and figure that out. And yeah.
How
I
do
like
you?
that.
I'm actually really interested in how you start a logo.
So part of the design process is just jumping on and seeing other designs, really. Like I love to go on Pinterest and gather ideas because as a designer, you really do need to constantly educate yourself on different logos, different brands. Otherwise, you just won't grow. So I spend quite a lot of time like brainstorming what kind of direction we're going to go in first. Whether it's a symbol, I'll find maybe other brands that have maybe symbols that kind of resonate with the brand, and then I kind of take a creative process and make a logo.
That is really interesting to know. Like, I do that. Do you know I don't have a Pinterest account? I literally
my
never go
God.
on
Yeah,
Pinterest.
crazy.
I love
How? That's like it's my scroll thing. Because I was like,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because Instagram, I'm like, it's work related.
Yeah, true. I get that.
I'm a TikToker because of that, but now on
Yeah.
TikTok, I'm like, I can't get away from anything.
I know, and it's a lot. TikTok.
Pinterest is so good, but
know,
it
it's
is the
soothing.
ultimate black hole. Like,
Oh yeah. It's
Really?
also like the biggest shopping hole. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I
Really?
want that, I want that, I want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a big thing I've noticed in businesses. It depends on your industry. Like in the fitness industry, it can be tricky, but there is a lot of ways to leverage Pinterest in your fitness business, because if you're going on for anything you inspire to be like, to put on your vision board, if it's a body, if it's like even, I've gone on there for workouts. Like you can find
You can
workout
find
videos.
anything on
Exactly. And it's
no idea.
it's another SEO tactic, because if you're if it's linked to your website, it will help boost your SEO, which will boost your website.
Yeah.
If you're posting to Pinterest,
Yeah, okay.
linking it there. So, I mean, I love it. But
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Mm.
Great.
I see Move With Us promote on there. Like
do
I see
they?
their ads on there. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely. You don't notice the ads as well, I find, in Pinterest because they all look like
No,
pins.
They tuck it in there
Yeah.
amongst all the other things.
yeah, definitely.
I just-
so funny.
Like my logical brain comprehend that creative process. I would just stare at a wall and be like, I don't know what to do. Like,
I would say one of my favorite parts of the build is like for design wise is when you send through those initial logos. I'm like the first one in there.
love it. I love it. Kira is typing.
Literally, she'll send through like three and be like, "Here's your branding, blah blah blah," and
then
then like
place your
in the
bets.
chat to Ray. I'm like,
I
this
bet
is-
number 2.
this is the first time we really see it. I'm like, oh my God. Like, that's actually so nice.
how the fuck did you come up with this?
I'm like, I have no idea.
There was a
Came to me in a
brand,
dream.
there was a brand recently that I was like, holy shit, like that's so good. It might be Sam McCout. Was it Sam?
Oh, at the red and pink.
I messaged you and I was like, holy shit. Actually, maybe
Oh,
I just
was it
launched.
Finlay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
website.
Hers
I
was
could-
The website.
incredible.
because her build was really I still love Sam's obviously, but Finlay's was like a 6-month build, and by by the time the design had happened, my phase of the build was out. Like
Yep.
I wasn't involved.
Yeah.
And then when she launched, on like the end of call, and I was looking at the website, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Her website is stunning.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. It's one of my favorite recent ones.
my
I actually
God,
referred a client to it the other day because I was like, if you look at that one.
it was so fresh on the way that we do things. Like it was unreal.
I was feeling so creative that day.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm going to chuck a few boxes here, a few photos there. Like, oh, let's go.
Well, I think what made it do so well, because it was like that clean wellness aesthetic, and that I don't know about you, but from a creative perspective, that's one of the hardest to reinvent because it's
Yeah.
minimalist.
It's so hard.
But you managed to pull like it gave that exact vibe of all of the inspo like accounts we refer, but in its own way, which is so much harder to do.
I
so
think because that's what I think I'm her target demographic.
that's helpful.
And I'm like, what would I like? So yeah, I had a lot of fun with that, like having the clean minimalist, but also having that little girly flair.
Yeah.
And I think also her photos were just beautiful.
They were so good.
They went so well with the website. So it was kind of where just everything kind of came together.
Photos really make or break.
Oh, they do.
my God.
That's
That's a
why I'm
really
the
good
annoying
thing.
one at the photo shoots that I like pose.
Actually, I should probably put you in charge of the schedule this time.
Give it to me. I
Yeah,
love it.
Absolutely.
Ash should be banned from schedules because also you make a schedule and then you go, nah.
Or she just doesn't
And
give
you're like,
one.
yeah.
I just don't know what to do. I'm the most awkward person in the world. What do you mean I need to pose?
I know, because you will just look at me like,
Star is so great. Star's like the mummager backstage,
Yeah,
like
like-
do this and do that and put your hand like this.
I reckon we should just have like BTS of Star trying to show Ash what to do.
I'm so awkward.
But-
It's actually bad.
Coming back to like
I am.
photo shoots though, like so in the Business Moves program we normally give like a photo shoot like ideas board in like our website information pack that we give, and normally
I
we
didn't
recommend
even know that. See?
Really?
yeah we do
We
And-
cover all bases.
shameless plug. And so normally after your branding has been sorted, we're normally like, okay, like if you're booking in a photo shoot, like try and get your branding colors in your outfits, and these are sort of like inspo. If you do nutrition, try and get some ones with food, and like so there are some really good ways that the final result can look even better and more personalized is the better your photos are too, because we can do so much more with them.
Yeah.
We edit them too.
Yeah, we will
Yeah.
edit them too.
I always show people our website. And I'm like, you know, we only wore one color. They're like, no way.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Not saying we're going to do
I'm
like
a wizard.
Photoshop on you and edit your photos, but like colors and things.
Yeah, your outfits.
We're not doing edits.
I think it's photo shoots are such big cost hold as well. But when you do a good photo shoot, it'll last you for a long time.
Definitely, but that comes
100%.
down to being creative with it. Like if you're not I don't know, if you're kind of just waiting to be told, or if you're just doing the basic ones that you've seen everywhere, like take a risk. If it doesn't pull off, it's one photo. Like
It's so
do
true.
something.
And get a variety. Like,
Yeah.
do not just get all the same photos, because then it's just like you just won't have options to post for your website. Like,
And this is kind of like my rule of thumb as well. Like, you don't do the same poses in the same outfits.
yeah.
Everything should be different, because then you've got
100%.
different moods in your different outfits, and
Yeah.
you've got a variety to work with.
Yeah.
Check how many outfits you can have, it changes you can have with your photographer. Take multiple different ones with you, so you've got all different options.
Like
So
backgrounds.
change the background colors, everything like that. So
And if you are nervous about posing, get Pinterest out, have the exact poses that you want to replicate, so that you don't have to get like all anxious and worked up. Like, I've done that in a photo shoot where I'm like, I know kind of what I want to do. I'm obviously like, I have the confidence to show up and to do it, but in the moment you get kind of nervous. You're like, there's someone in front of me taking photos. Like, how do I actually want to sit? Do I want to stand?
I think the photographer's going to judge me.
Yeah.
Which is normal, but I mean, they're not, because they're just like there for it. It's work. They're not even paying attention, I swear. So-
but also a good photographer will also be able to help you.
Yes.
See me at my photo shoot. Oh my God.
I mean, your photos were epic. Though.
Yeah.
Photographer
My-
made their money that day.
So had to come in and teach me how to pose, and I was just like, what is happening?
Deer in headlights.
But like, cause like, one, I'm like quite a modest person, so I was like,
In minimal clothes, doing like sexy poses.
Was that like where he's like doing the Venus half shell, but he's like covering?
God. But yeah, photo shoots are good. I'm really
Also,
keen for
tax
ours.
deductible photo shoots for your business because it's to do with your marketing.
But even like we've had the conversation, like we had a great photo shoot, but now we're like, it doesn't represent who we are anymore. Like we were that forward moves, but now we're like the level up of forward moves.
So
And, like,
excited for the next
Oh my God. Forward Moves
know.
2.0.
Oh,
I'm
I
so
know.
excited.
We've got like a couple of really cool campaign ideas too.
Yeah.
Oh, the mood
Watch
boards for
out.
these are like giving
Oh,
life.
how nice!
They really
Haven't even clicked on it.
First, I didn't even read the email. I just clicked the
Kira
link.
rocks up in like blue or tan or something.
I was like, date, blah, blah, blah. Yep, sick.
And it was
I
like
will look
in
at
bold,
that later.
do not be late.
Yeah.
That's
the
fine.
photo shoot.
That's
Which
fine
is-
for me.
Maybe I'll come with you.
Okay, Star.
Sorry.
Your favorite part of business moves.
Oh, wow.
I know you're
okay.
only kind of like newish into the builds,
Well,
but
I'm
you've
also-
known what's been going on. But
Exactly. But I also have like such a limited window.
yeah,
I don't actually see it all. But I think I love for the client when they actually, in my head, I don't really get to speak to them much
No.
after this. But in my head, I love it after their call with you.
oh, okay.
Because they actually they're settled, like all of the questions are then answered. They know everything. They have everything. And then they're feeling more confident. They're like, okay, like I know what's going on. Let's just get going. Like, let's do it. I'm ready.
That is actually a common theme. Is at the end of I have a call with them about their systems.
Yeah.
and then they go, oh, I feel a little bit better now.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
like the 2 calls before you, they're jittery, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, but my sister, I was like, Kira's next week, it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. And
They're just banging, they're like, Kira.
well, because I will get those questions, but they don't realise they're system questions half the time, I reckon. But I will get those in week 6
Yeah.
when I'm doing like
Well, because we do
nurture
system
campaigns.
set up week 7.
Yeah.
After week
That
7,
makes
that's
sense.
when everyone's like, oh, okay, like this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that part for them, that's what I love, because it's like this extra weight has just been lifted and they're like, okay, I see how it all works out.
You've spoken about it. You've told me some things that are going to help for now. We'll talk about things that I'm going to do later. And then I think a lot of them are like terrified for me to learn their systems because they're like, oh my God, it's an absolute mess. I don't even know what I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's okay. I'm like, oh, like I had a call with somebody, I think it was last week, and I was like, no, like, this is actually pretty good. And they were like, really? And I was like, yeah, we're just going to be doing tweaking from here, I think.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my God. They were like, yes. They were like so excited. They were like, oh my God, that's so good to hear it from somebody else that it's all good. And I was like, yeah.
What's a really vulnerable part of business, right? It's
Yeah.
something you
Yeah.
don't share with anyone.
Yeah.
And even some business coaches won't go into it, which one, I don't understand. But two, like
Yeah.
it's the only thing you are the only one that ever really gets to see.
True.
And even as you
Yeah.
employ people, no one really gets to see that full perspective of exactly what it looks like behind the scenes.
True.
Yeah.
And it's like
That's a good point.
oh wow, okay, I am on the right track, because you just have to have your own back as a business owner.
I think
in
it's
that.
also having vulnerability of like, it
Yeah.
might be bad. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I think for my part of it, I love it after. I mean, it's tricky. When it comes to my work, I love when we have the discussion about launch, because again, things are coming together.
Yeah.
People just generally feel more confident and comfortable when they're doing a social plan or a social strategy that is about selling.
Yeah.
When we're talking about nurture, that is conflicting for some people. They don't quite get the weight or why it's so important. So when we're talking about launch, they're really excited because they're like, oh, I'm going to do this. And they can get creative as well. They're a part of that creative process of not just thinking content ideas, but thinking, oh, I want to have this that I'm launching as an
Yeah.
offer. And I like that part of mine. But yeah, I also just love seeing the end of it, because I'm very visual as well. Like, I have the strategy brain, but seeing the visual side of things, I'm like, like, I've not got to be a part of this. Like,
Yay.
I only read all the text of what's going to happen. Like, now I get to see it. So
That would be
It's
exciting.
crazy how it all comes together. And it's like, we did that?
Yeah.
What do you mean we did that? Like, it's
Yeah,
so cool.
it is actually such a cool process. And I think it's really good having you there to kind of give ideas on different launch strategies, because we've been kind of bad at like just the same kind of launch strategies, but like kind of having you come in and give these clients like creative ideas. They just get so excited about
Oh, I'm so
launching
glad.
their ideas.
It was definitely needed.
Well,
Yeah.
I always get, because I kind of am out of the loop from there sometimes. So it's hard, because I'm like, hope they like it. I did really think about that one, and like, I'm kind of off the build now. Like, that's my job done. So I don't really know what they think about it sometimes. But, and unless I go in and I'm reviewing socials of each of the clients, which I'll do sometimes. I am always watching. I am putting that out. If you're listening, I'm watching.
Did you follow that launch strategy?
Yeah. Or if it's even just like it's not necessarily the content exactly. It's just the plan, and particularly when we're filling the gaps in the nurture campaigns. I'm like, I don't care how you execute the content. I just need you to do the intention. Like, do what we're aiming to achieve. How you creatively execute it, that ball is in your court. I will give you all the ideas. I will help you. I'll hold your hand as much of the way as you want. But you need to, I'm giving you this insight so that you can fill the gaps of your business. Like, do it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
What's your favorite part?
Was that you? You hungry, darling?
My belly grumbled. I don't know if that'll come up in the audio, but I was like, like I heard it back in my head. I was like, oh my goodness.
I heard it.
My favorite part of the build. Oh, I feel like lots of it is exciting for me, but I actually do really like how much more confident the client gets throughout the build. That's one of my favorite things, is how they go from like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure, blah, blah. Then they're like making decisions. They're telling us what they like, what they don't like. And then they're like, I can't wait to launch. I've had feedback. I've had these clients. And I'm like, and they're getting like more and more excited as the build goes on, and more confident in running their business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite part. It's generally the entire thing.
What's not to love?
What's yours, Ash?
I love the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
Problem solver.
we have like a new gym coming on board, and she told me a problem. So I was like, oh my God, my birthday. I'm so excited. Because I was like, my brain just starts firing up. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I just freak out. Like, and especially, we've got 2 gyms at the moment, and we just did a feedback round with one of them. I'm like, oh my God. How are we going to set all this up? I'm so excited. Like, I get so excited about that part. But it's definitely at the end, especially when, it's been a really long build, or there's been lots and lots going on, and they're just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I don't want to leave. I'm like, I don't want you to leave.
Yeah. It's always bittersweet at the end.
Yeah.
When we have our last call with them and they're like, so is this it? And you're like,
but we'll still be here.
You don't have to leave now.
Yeah,
Now we've got
true.
new offers.
Yeah, this is exciting.
Exclusive.
I was going to say, it won't be
To
that
our
long until
customers
this,
only.
I was going to say it won't be that long till this episode's coming out, so can't really say that much about it because it hasn't really been released.
Nah, it's customer only at the moment, but who knows? We might take it to public.
Yeah.
If Ash is thinking about
Yeah,
it, you know it's coming.
I know. It's like you'll
Need to
just
brace
decide one
ourselves.
random Wednesday afternoon.
Well, it
Yeah.
was like a business moves offer, and we filled it. I was
Yeah.
like, I just fill 5 spots, see how it goes, and we had 5 clients that were like, yes, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
like,
wow.
all right,
Into the thick of
and like, our business moves team is already at capacity, so I'm like, okay, it looks like I'm doing the work. Like I don't know what to do over here. Like, so I just logistically want it to work.
Yeah.
I reckon.
So,
yeah,
well.
yeah.
It would be great, like, because you go through such a process in the Business Moves program. So it is really sad, like, when you're just like, bye, never see you again.
We like create pretty close friendships with our customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we talk to them every single day for
3 months.
what, 3 months?
Literally.
It's crazy. I can see why they get to the end and they're like, but where are you going?
Yeah, I think the biggest part of that offer that will sell is having like the design in your pocket. So if you want your website edited, it's free or things like that. So little
Little taster.
but we should probably wrap this episode up. We've been talking forever.
Yeah.
Unlike us.
But we'll be back again next week.
Yeah, we'll be back again next week with the same crew and going over
Personal brand
Personal
and business
brand.
brand.
first
The
business
difference.
brand, which will be exciting.
Such
An ominous ending. It's not that scary. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.